I want to introduce my mentor, my friend, my lifestylepreneur, and I truly like to call her my angel from above, Miss Sherry
Mhm.
Sharman. Welcome to the call, Sherry.
Thank you, Jared, so much for that intro. And for everybody that's on this call, every time he wears his uniform, I'm like a little kid. Do you remember when the firemen used to go by and, do the sirens and all that kind of thing? Is it when you were a kid and you were like, fireman, I love it. And I literally jump up and down when I see that he has his uniform on. Thank you, Jared, for your service. Thank you for everything that you do for this community. And for all you guests that are on this call, welcome, because this is my favorite day of the week. Because not only do we do a presentation to show you what we're all about, we also follow it with an amazing training. And the training is, it not only will it inspire you about our company, but it'll inspire you about your life. And that's something that, my motto is loving life. And I've been saying that for 4 decades. And like Jared said, I've been in this industry for almost 4 decades. So when you look at experience, you have so much experience that's on this Zoom call with us. And we're so excited to be able to share something with you that we found that is literally going to change your life. So please have an open mind. I'm going to introduce to you a gentleman that I just dearly love. I mean, his daughter's birthday was yesterday, and we just have so much fun together. Besides being business partners, he was one of my students back when he was in his early 20s. So when you look at what he's been able to do over the last 30 years, I mean, it's just been beyond amazing. But the biggest gift is teaching people how to become successful. So if you're on this call and maybe you're already successful, but would you like some time freedom and have some fun along with that? That's what we offer here. So I just want to introduce to you, he is one of the top people in our company. He helped co-found this company. He's been able to literally pour his heart into this company because it's a company that is for the people and is by the people, and it's just the most amazing company I've ever seen in my entire career. And I want to introduce to you my business partner and dearest friend, Muzaffar Najbi.
Wow. Thank you. I appreciate it, Sherry. And the reason I said wow, it was a knee-jerk reaction for those of y'all that are brand new. And I'll tell you why. It's one of those that when something hits you, you right away say, wow, or you say, oh my gosh, or oh my goodness, when it's unexpected. And when you've had someone that's guided you and helped you and coached you that then turns around and introduces you in a way that maybe hits you like in a good way, right? Like, anyways, I just want to say thank you, Sherry, for the mentoring, the guidance. She became like a second mom to me. A lot has happened for my wife and I because of Sherry Sharman. And so I'm so grateful that you're here. And for those of you that are a friend or a family member or a business partner of someone that asked you to be here today, welcome. My name is Muzaffar, and I'm going to do the best that I can to share the information that they wanted you to see. There was obviously some level of excitement, and it's a Saturday morning, or if you're in Africa, because we have people from Africa on now, and other areas of the world, it's probably a later time or a different time. But for me, I'm in Arizona, and it's Saturday morning. And so we're all on a Zoom. So we're going to have some fun. Like we might as well, laugh, enjoy, smile. And it started out with, Jared literally being here from, a fire station. But he's probably the happiest guy on the Zoom, if you guys couldn't tell. And, on top of it, Sherry doing just an incredible introduction. For me, I've been in this profession for 30 years. And how I got started is that my dad is from East Africa. My mom is Middle Eastern. I grew up in Minnesota. I got there when I was 10 years old. English was my second language. I was told that if I wanted to become successful, I needed to go to school. And that was kind of preached to maybe a lot of us, right? Like, go to school, get good grades. The better you do in school, the better you'll do in life. Like that type of thing. And I was told to go find a big company, start at the bottom and work my way up. And, my dad tried to tell me to go be a doctor or a lawyer or engineer. And I wasn't smart enough, like just be real, or I didn't apply myself in school for that. What I did get good at was catching a football. and running fast. And I think that happened as a kid. Like when I used to get in trouble and I was going to get my butt whipped, I just started to learn how to run fast. Like when you're a kid, you run, right? And anyways, I think that's what helped me be great at sports. And I sit back and think about the fact that I got introduced to the sports world, and I always had a coach, and a coach would mentor me, guide me. In my last year in university, I tore my ACL, MCL, and PCL ligament all at the same time. And that was it for sports. And I felt like my dreams were ripped from me. And I don't know if you've ever been in that situation where you had something headed in a direction, like you had a life path, or you knew you were headed somewhere, and all of a sudden it was brought to a halt or a stop, or somebody took it away. That's what I felt like at that moment, because I wanted to be in the NFL and I wanted to retire my mom so she could do what she loves, which is help people learn about God. That's her passion. And I promised her that I was going to do it. And when it didn't happen, I graduated from a university with 3 degrees, and a friend of mine called me because I was looking for a job and I couldn't find one. And I don't know if any of you have ever sat there and prayed and said that, and I'm not trying to get religious, but I remember sitting there going, God, like I need a door to open, because my mom used to say, when one door closes, another will open. And I used to sit there and say, I need this door to open. Like I just need it to open. And I was sitting there hoping, and my friend called me going, hey, what are you doing? And I said, nothing. And he said, I'm picking you up. We're going to a meeting. And we went to this office, and I saw this company that was #1 on the Inc. 500 as the fastest growing privately held company in America. And the guy I met was 24. I was 21. He was making $12,000 a month. I don't know where you are in life. Maybe that's not a lot of money to you. For me, it was a lot. Like back then, even now, like you ask the majority of people, 12,000 is a lot of money per month. I was earning 2,500. And I looked at the guy going, if you'll teach me, just show me how to do this, I'll be your best student. And he said, if you're really serious, you got to go to a major training. And I said, I'll go. And he said it was in Las Vegas. And I was in Minnesota, and we went. And I had no idea there were going to be thousands. There was 13,000 people there. And I'll never forget, in the middle of the event, they announced one of the co-founders and number one income earners, and the lights went out. And this lady came out in like this white dress with diamonds on it. And I remember sitting there looking at my brother going, oh my God, I want to work with her. And my brother looked at me going, yeah, right. And that was our conversation. And that lady, she was earning $100,000 a month. And I sat there doing the math, because that's one thing I was pretty good at, was doing math. And I sat there and said, I make barely 30,000 a year. Like, do you understand? It would take me 3.5 years of full time, 40 hours a week, just to make what she made in a month. What if I could find her? What if I could get her to know me? What if I could get her to see something in me? Maybe she could teach me what she's doing. And even if I mess up 90% of what she's doing, 10 grand a month is still great. And that lady's name was Sherry Sharman. And I'm going to tell you something, dreams do come true. I earned my way into her mentoring me. It took me years before she knew who I was, because there were thousands looking to be mentored by her. And today she's here partnered with us in Viago, which is a company your friend wanted you to see. And I wanted to connect the dots of who this lady is, because she's so humble, she's so grateful, she's so kind, and she talks about everybody else. But the truth is, she's helped thousands of people like me. And I'll never forget that, Sherry. And I'll always be grateful for you and pray for you and your husband and your family. So thank you again. So let's talk about Viago. For those of y'all that are here for the first time, this company to me is a community. It's something that is bigger than just some deal or just some opportunity. I'm going to tell you right now, this will be a name that will buzz around the world. That's a strong statement, but I promise you it's going to happen. That little arrow that you see, it's going to become an icon It's going to be all over where people are wearing it on hats, on shirts. It's going to be around the world. When people see that, they're going to think Viago. When they see green, they're going to think Viago. And I'm going to tell you why. The community here is growing right now in 40 countries. We pre-launched last July. We officially did a launch event in October of 2024, several months back. December is when our software opened. And today we're in over 40 countries and still growing. And it's only the beginning. So let me show you what we do. What happened is that I got very fortunate to come together with a group of people to help design this. My CEO is a gentleman named Isaac. Before Viago, he opened a skincare company, a luxury skincare line that he opened 900 stores in 40 countries and did over 3 billion in revenue. My other business partner is a gentleman named Eddie Head. Eddie and his partners, they created one of the largest travel clubs in the world. In the world. I mean, they were in, several countries around the world, millions upon millions of members. And we all came together and we made this wish list of, if we could all do it over again, what would it look like? I don't know if you've ever had that conversation with a friend, but we started writing out what we wanted it to look like. And my goodness, phase one is absolutely amazing. And why do I say phase one? Because we've got multiple phases coming. So let me show you this membership that you are taking a look at today, which is called Club Viago. This membership already has 6 different categories, and that's phase one. That's phase one. Travel is obviously here because you may have heard about it. Maybe somebody called you and say, hey, what if we could travel the world and make money together? Would you be open? Maybe somebody called you and said, hey, listen, if time and money were not an issue in your life, what would you do more of? Most people say travel. The number 1, 2, or 3 answer to that question is travel. I was talking to a guy that's an author, and he was telling me, he said, Mazafar, do you know that when surveys and studies have been done with humans being asked, what is it that you want and need? Like, what is it that you want and need for your life? And there were 5 things that came up that were needs that people wanted. The number 1 need that everyone wanted was more money, number 1. Number 2 was better health. You would think they would be switched, but number 1 was more money, number 2 was better health, number 3 was more travel, number 4 was significance, and number 5 was relationships. And you know what's incredible? What you're looking at today, this community will give you all 5. That's what I fell in love with. You'll find all 5 here. I'm going to show you a membership that when you become a part of Club Viago, you'll get a username and password. Just like Netflix, you get a username and password and access into the portal. In this portal, the first category I'm going to talk about is travel. This is the ultimate lifestyle club is what we are, and travel is a big component. Now, what happened is that with our relationships, like when I was a part of the meeting with these individuals, some of the smartest people you'll meet. Listen, I wasn't the smartest person in the room, not at all. I was just happy to be in the room. I really was. I was happy to be in the room, sitting there with everybody and throwing out ideas. And I remember saying, I've got a friend. And I called a friend of mine that worked with Nike for 7 years. And he worked with Michael Jordan. And I remember calling him going, you have to see what we're trying to design. And he was like, Mazafar, this is brilliant. He goes, I want to help. And he flew to Arizona and he put his cell phone on the table and he said, I'll offer up my contacts for free, if this will help this come true. And I want you to understand that he was a big part at the beginning, a dear friend of mine. I started calling people going, you have to see what we're trying to build. And we started to create this membership, and then we tested it, and then we enhanced it, and then we tested it over the years. We had friends and family using this membership. So let me start off by telling you about travel. We got access to unlimited wholesale travel, unlimited wholesale. So if you've heard of Priceline or Expedia or Booking.com or any of these, they have wholesale. So there's retail. Hopefully you can still see my video. There's retail, and then there's wholesale. They have wholesale. They just never give it to you and me. Priceline and all these companies, they mark it up. So instead of giving you this wholesale price, they give it to you here and they make money on travel. We do not mark it up. We do not make money on travel. We actually give you the wholesale price that we get. We give you our price because you're a part of this community. So I'm going to show it to you. The first areas like hotels, cruises, car rentals, week homes, vacation places. And yes, we have flights. I don't brag on flights because they're FAA regulated, and a lot of the websites will all have similar flight prices. Every once in a while, you'll find a great deal, so it's worth looking. But most of it is similar or exact pricing on flights. What I will brag on is all the other stuff. Hotels, car rentals, like all of these things. So let's start with hotels. Public price, I use Priceline, just to be candid, like to tell you what these numbers are. Viago prices are price. This is Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, 33% savings. This is Miami. This is a beautiful resort house. This is Glacier National Park, a 34% savings. This is the Millennium Hotel, a 57% savings. This is Italy. This is like what I'm showing you is for around the world, just so you guys understand. It's for around the world. Anywhere that you want to go. You travel on your time, your dime. But it's better to save as many dimes as you can, or as we heard when we were younger, a penny saved is a penny earned. It's not only how much money you make, it's how much you keep. Listen, I've used this everywhere. I saved money in Argentina. I saved money in Colombia. I saved money in Asia. I saved money when I was in Canada. All these hotels, I use Club Viago, all of them, everywhere that I go. I went to LA a week ago. A month ago. I was gonna say a week ago. It was over a month ago. And I stayed at the Hilton, Los Angeles Airport. It was $274. I paid $150 after taxes. After taxes. Colombia, I stayed at the Grand Hyatt. And I ended up spending, instead of $279, I spent $139. I'm just letting you know that I love saving money. I do. I love having multiple savings account with banks, just like I love saving money here. So escapes is part number 2. These are vacations that we design in 2 categories. 1, we pick the location, we pick the date, we pick all the fun stuff. 2, you pick the date, you pick the location, you pick the fun stuff, and we design it. And I'm going to tell you right now, every video you're watching on this slide, this is our community. This is not like footage that we bought to make this look pretty. This was actually us there in these locations. Those are our community members. Now, I'm going to show you a program that also has rewards and all of the fun stuff. Let me just keep it simple today. Sorry, I did a presentation. I've been doing them at night, so I said tonight, but it's today. This is for Mexico. This is a 4-diamond property that we're talking about right here. This is 5 days, 4 nights. It includes round-trip airport transfer. What that means from the airport to the resort back to the airport. There's a welcome reception. It's all inclusive. There's a foam pool party. There's a sunset cruise. Like, we did this same vacation in December with over 450 people from Viago that went. And we had multiple boats. It was absolutely amazing. We're doing it again in May. There's a host waiting for you. Can you imagine the minute you get there, they sit there, and as you walk in, they go, "Welcome to Fantasy Island." Can you imagine? By the way, this is not Fantasy Island. That was a TV show. Tattoo was pointing at the plane. I'm just joking. The point is this, is there's a host waiting for you. They know your name. This right here, if you were to do it, it would normally be $1,700 without flights. Because you're a Club Viago member, because you're in our country club. Now, it's not a country club, but that's what I think about. Like, imagine having access into a lifestyle country club. Like, this is Club Viago. And because you're a member, the price is $850 for you versus $1,700 for everyone else. But it gets better. Our rewards program allows you to bring the cost down even more, so you can use your points. And here's the best part. 1 point equals $1. I know what you're about to say. You're about to say, what you talking about, Willis? Sorry, I saw hey, sorry, Sherry. I saw something from Different Strokes. Y'all remember that TV show? All right, anyways, so I'm just kidding. Listen, you might as well have fun today. But the point is that 1 point equals $1. And how do you get points? When you join our community, we give them to you. We literally give you 600 points the minute you become a member, like I did. 600. And so in this scenario, every vacation has a maximum amount of points you can use. This one, you can use 150 per person. So look at the cost is brought down to $700. Look at this one in Vietnam. After points, it's down to $475. This is Dubai. This is actually a trip that happened. I just haven't gotten rid of it on my PowerPoint. Why? Because I love showing it. Because we actually had 3 of these. 2 where people from the US and Europe and Africa went. There were over 400 that were there. Sherry was there. When she found out about this, she was like, Muzaffar, I'm going. It's my birthday month. Me and Alex are going. She was like, but can I stay longer than 5 days, 4 nights? Like she stayed, I think, 8 or 9 nights. Like if we wouldn't have forced her to come back and work the company with us, she would still be in Dubai right now. I don't know. Like, I'm just kidding. The point is that you can extend your trip. Right now, my friends and community from Colombia, we had almost 180 people that their trip just ended, literally just ended. And I have a couple, they were boyfriend, girlfriend on their way to Dubai. On their way home, their fiance. Isn't that cool? Like things like that happen. People have met the love of their life on these trips. People have met some of their best friends. There are people that said, hey, listen, I lost friends years ago and I've got my family. And then they come into our community and they have a whole new group of friends and family and relationships happen. It's amazing. This is Cairo, Egypt. After points, look at the price. Phuket, Thailand. This has been a fan favorite that we have brought this vacation back over and over and over again. This is China. This is all the other places. I could sit here and talk about everywhere we're going to go, and we could spend the next half hour on trips alone. The next category is when I talked about we design trips for you. There's a wonderful couple named Janie and Raymond. And they were like, Muzaffar, we want to give back. We love building bottled schools. Can we do an escape where we can build schools and see Guatemala together? And you guys can design it. And we did. And anybody in our community can participate in even trips like this that we do for certain community members. The next category is our telemedicine and our wellness area. This is another category that's growing. We did an all ambassador Zoom, and we had some of our experts in the wellness and medical space that were there talking about what this membership offers. But the simple part of it is telemedicine, access to a doctor 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's for over 35 countries, 50 states, 250 languages. I've used this multiple times. I love the telemed. What I did when my daughter got sick, because people go, how do I do it? I just had a friend of mine that had a severe cough that is in our community. And she was like, I'm like, call telemed. Like, what are you doing? And she was like, well, I don't know how to do it. I go, okay, I understand. No problem. Log into Club Viago. She was like, okay. I go right to telemed. I go, here's what you do. And I walked her through it. And I said, now set an appointment. So she set an appointment and they called her within minutes. And then they prescribed what she needed. She didn't have to go to urgent care. I'm just telling you. Now, if you have to go, they'll tell you, I think you should go to urgent care. But at least having a doctor in your back pocket, the peace of mind is worth this. It's like worth this membership alone. The next area is one of my favorites. And I have a young lady today that you're going to hear from in a few minutes that literally, I think, has used this more than anybody in the last 3 months. Like, I think she lives on this part right here. By the way, if somebody could help me let people in, that would be great. I think she lives in that part, in this part. So this is over 1 million retailers, over 1 million. and you save a minimum of $4,000 per year. Wait till you hear what she has saved in 90 days, not the whole year, in 90 days. But I mean, look, from movie theaters to Broadway shows to SeaWorld. I went to SeaWorld and the ticket was $109. I paid because of our membership $59. So when you got 4 people, me, my wife, and my daughters, and I saved 50, 50, 50, and I saved $200 just for one thing that I was going to do anyways. I didn't do it because of the membership, but I saved money because of the membership. Does that make sense? It's like I tell people, the only way you won't save this money is if you don't click. And people go, what do you mean by click? Log in and start clicking, like click on things and you'll find things. Like my friend Jim and Donna, they started clicking and Jim was like, Muzaffar, we found out that there's car insurance savings. And at first he was like, I didn't think it was going to work for us because the company that I saw wasn't my car insurance company. But I clicked on it and I saw that I could get a quote from any insurance company. And I said, what happened? He said, well, I did it. And I started going through everything. He said, and they called me and I gave them the code that's sitting in that area. And they saved me $2,300 for the year. I was like, wow. And there's events, like we go to comedy shows, we go to concerts, all this type of stuff and save money. My friend saved 60% on an NBA game, a $22 F1 Formula Racing ticket. Like, gosh, I could sit here all day on just this area alone. But we've got our own shopping area. It's like our marketplace in your back office that has nutrition, skincare. We've got new products that are being introduced at our Atlanta event. I'm telling you, there's so much happening. This is just the beginning. So you get discount travel booking, VIP escapes, unique experience. This is the recap, right? Telemedicine, insurance, all that stuff. Daily member savings, best pricing on marketplace. This is phase 1. And the cost of this in comparison to what you're receiving and the fact that you get 600 points, the minute I show the price, people go, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. I spend $450 to set up the membership and you're giving me 600 points and 1 point equals $1. So it's like you're giving me $600 back, Muzaffar. That's too good to be true. And I go, look, my CEO's motto is we give you more than you give us. Think about that motto. We give you more than you give us when you become a part of this community. It's so funny. Like I gave this example several weeks back. My wife set up this website and we had to pay up front. Like when you go to a gym, you pay a setup fee at the gym. They don't give you anything. Like we set up this website and we had to spend like $400. And I was like, sweetheart, what do we get? And she was like, what are you talking about? We get the website. And then every month there's a fee like Netflix every month. What do you get for paying your Netflix fee every month? What do you get for paying your cell phone bill every month? What do you get for paying the light bill every month? Muzaffar, I get lights. Okay. Here, the membership every month is $99. You get an incredible membership that will save you over $4,000 a year, give you the best vacations, access to doctors. Like the membership is the best membership I have seen. However, we also give you 100 points back every month, and 1 point equals $1. Somebody said to me, Muzaffar, it's almost like you're paying me to stay on this membership. Like, think about that. Because you give 99, we give you 100 points. And I sat back and said, that's a good way of looking at it. And it gets even better. What do you get for being loyal to any of the things that you have a subscription on for 12 months? What are you paying every month? Cell phone bill, insurance bill, light bill, gas bill. What are you getting? Gym membership, Hulu, Netflix, Peacock, DirecTV, cable. What are you getting for being loyal for 12 months? And most people say, another bill. I know, I get it, right? Like with us, you get a gift after 12 months of consistent loyalty. Now, I'm not talking about being loyal for 3 months and being off for 3 months and back on. No. Be loyal for 12 months and you'll get a gift. It's either a vacation or an extra 1,000 points itself. So if any of you are mathing the math right now, you started with 450, you got 600. You're paying 99, you're getting 100. So after 12 months, you're at 1,800 points. And if you choose the 1,000, you got 2,800 points, which is $2,800 to go spend. I know what you're thinking. It's too good to be true. And I'm telling you, thank you. Thank you for thinking that. That means that we did our job. We wanted to create a community. We wanted to create something that could help people live life amplified every day, everywhere. And I want you to understand that there's a second part to this that's a business, that you can earn an income for bringing your relationships. See, for me, everyone I know needs to see Viago, everyone. And I'll get paid because the company would rather pay you and me than doing a commercial during the Super Bowl, which cost $3 million for a 30 to 60-second segment. And then you have to pay God knows how much money for actors, actresses. We would rather pay all that money to you and I. The company's saying, we'll give you 50% of the commissions. And I'm going, this is incredible. So we spent millions. For you to become an ambassador, it's $49. And you get the software, the system, the tracking system, the commission engine, everything. It's an ambassador business system. And now let's talk about how we earn an income. There's 5 ways. There's a direct bonus. There's a residual bonus. There's a team bonus. There's a Sapphire leadership bonus. And there's a matching check bonus. And that's exactly what it sounds like. But let me just start with the first 2. The first one is really simple. Anyone you introduce, they become a member, you earn $100. So if you introduce 5, you make 500. 10, you make 1,000. 6, you make 600. But why that's so important? Because when you personally bring 6 and they become a member, the next month your membership is now free. You pay no more. Think about that one. And you're still getting 100 points given to you. I got to wait a second and let that one sink in. You're not paying anything, and we're giving you 100 points, and 1 point equals $1. And you earn $600, and you have 6 members that are saving a minimum of $4,000 a year, as long as they click, 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 click. Like, that's how simple this is. And guess what's going to happen? I promise you, some of them are going to say, I want to do this as a business. I want to get my 6 because I don't want to pay the membership. So let's talk about building a team. Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. So why not build a team? So what if you introduced Sherry and not me? Because I'm blessed. Like, I got to introduce my mentor, my second mom. And she said yes, her and her husband. And Alex was a big part of this. So what if you introduced Sherry and Alex? And then she introduced Cheryl, who introduced Brandon, who introduced Brian, who introduced Chris. And now you have a team of 5. And then you introduced my buddy, Ben Bradshaw. That's my brother. And Ben introduced Tony. And Tony introduced Julie. And Julie introduced Kim. And Kim introduced Lindsay, who you're about to hear from in a second. And now you have 5 left and 5 right. And every month they keep their membership, you're earning $50 a month. And you might go, well, $50 is not a lot of money, Mazafar. And I go, well, 5 people that you personally did not bring is not a lot of people. But guess what happens? Some of those people, like Sherry, went and got her 6 in less than a week. And then Sherry introduced Kathy, who got her 6 in 4 days. Sherry introduced Ricky, who got his 9 in 24 hours. Ricky introduced Stevie, who got his 6. And Stevie also got 5 left, 5 right. And all you did was introduce Sherry. And now you see the numbers are going to start to grow as they start to introduce other people. When it gets to 10 left, 10 right, you're at 200 a month every month. 25-25, you're at 500. 50-50, you're at 1,000. Congratulations, Sherry, for finishing Sapphire. She finished this at the end of March. She built both teams. People think that icons like her that have made millions get something given to her. No, she talked to people. Some said yes, some said no. She's been on every Zoom. Even when she went to Dubai, she would wake up at 5 in the morning and do these Zooms with us and introduce person after person after person. People think that just because she's like this wonderful, angelic person, everybody says yes. No, they didn't. She heard no just like we all have. But she worked with the yeses and God blessed the nos. Like that's just what it is. And her team is growing. And she has people on her team right now that are on track for 50-50. And because they win, she will go emerald. And that ups the residual. Diamond is 5,000 a month. Blue diamond's 10,000. Red diamond's 20,000. Purple diamond's 36,000. And yes, black diamond's 85,000 a month. Let me ask you a question. What is it that you want? And what is it that you need? So funny. Some people go, Mazafar, I need 85,000 a month. No, you don't. I love you and I appreciate and respect you. You don't need it. That's something we all want. But like, let's just be real. What do you need today? Like some people go, Mazafar, I need an extra income. Great. Other people go, Mazafar, if you can help me make the same money I'm making right now. I had a husband and wife tell me, Mazafar, if you can just help us get to 5,000 a month, which is diamond, we can leave where we're at, which we're unhappy with, and be here full time, work around the world, and that would take care of our family. What is it that you need, and what is it that you want? We have a whole digital wallet that's advanced, that's phenomenal. Last thing I'll tell you before I introduce a couple people is we don't guarantee an income, ladies and gentlemen. We don't. Just like a gym doesn't guarantee muscles, you got to work. We have a training program in place from an online system to live events. We do 3 a year in North America, 3 in Europe, and 3 in South America. The one that's coming in 3.5 weeks is Atlanta. I would do everything in your power to be there. Now, I'm not Viago. I've been very blessed and fortunate to be here since the beginning, the talks of it. And I want you to hear from a couple of people that have like literally come here. They started using the membership. They started introducing people and had results. And the first is this young lady that I actually got a chance to meet when she first got started. And we met on Zoom. And her and another lady were incredible. Like the minute I met them. And I knew they were going to do something special. I had no idea it was going to be this incredible. And Lindsay, I'm so proud of what you have done in a short period of time. I would love for everyone to hear your story. So, and I'm going to ask for 2 things, if you don't mind, because we haven't had a chance to talk before this. I'm going to ask for 2 things. Number one, if you could quickly just say your background and what's happened since you've gotten started. And number 2, if you could just give a little bit of details on the money that you saved. Because when we were in Chicago and you came to the Chicago training and you said, Mazafar, I saved this amount of money in 90 days. I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh. So like I would love for you to say what those things are. That would be fantastic. So everybody, I want to introduce you to Lindsay Kate.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Here, I'll actually take these glasses off so I can see all of you a little bit better. Thank you so much for having me on. I was happy that I was able to pop on today. So my name is Lindsay Kate. I am from Wisconsin. I'm a single mom of 2. I have 1 teenager, 15-year-old girl, and then an 8-year-old son. But a little bit more about my background. So I'm from Wisconsin. I do have a home in Florida, but I have been in real estate for almost 15 years. Got very burned out in that, but did also, I'm kind of an entrepreneur, so I like to do multiple things. I think it's always important to have more than one stream of income, especially if you're a single parent or what so, if you're the only one taking care of the bills. So I have done some other network marketing companies as well as some other things. But I had actually been introduced to this back in December, and truly in my life at the time, I was like, I don't want to hustle anymore. It's like I was living in this world of hustle, hustle, hustle. I don't know if anybody else feels that. It's been like that the last couple of years. Let's hustle. I don't want to hustle. I was praying to God and I said, can you just send me something that's going to save me money and is going to let me travel more with my kids, and maybe I could make some money too, God. Like, let's just do that. Jokingly, right? That you think it would never happen. And all of a sudden Viago came in my life. And so I had never seen anything like this. I was shocked. Instantly, I loved the membership, the savings right away, because I was like, well, if I can join and I don't need to do anything, or I don't need to feel like I'm working a lot, but I can just log into a site and save some money right away. That way I'm actually working less than saving money. That's a no-brainer to me. I'm in. So started the membership and started saving right away. And then saw the opportunity that was there. So this has been a true blessing in my life. Some of the things that I've personally saved on already, which being a independent, I pay for my own insurance and I pay for my kids. I was paying $850 a month for health insurance, and I had been doing that for like the last 5 years. I went on through our site, and I actually was able to save $2,400 a year, which is a lot of money to save on insurance. And to have the free telehealth, I've used it 3 times. I've saved $750. Let's see what else I saved on Frigidaire appliances. I sell real estate and own properties. I was able to save 50% on Frigidaire. My dog food. I went to the Phoenix Open. If you guys aren't golfers, I'm a golfer. If anybody ever goes on the vacations, I will golf with you. I had always wanted to go to the Phoenix Open, and I really couldn't afford it because it was like $1,000 a day or something crazy. Like these events are nuts. It's like twice as big as the Super Bowl. I saved $250 per day on tickets. So I was able to go get a hotel, get tickets, and like it was a huge dream of mine to be able to go to that event. I just went this year. So all of the savings that I have saved on in the last couple of months has been close to, I think, $7,000 right now. And I have just like barely tapped into this system. So the fact that I was able to save that and I knew that I could help other people save money, that really got me excited because not only can I help people save money, but then they're going to see the business side and be able to travel and be with their loved ones more. So I'm going to end it at that because it was probably a lot more than needed. But I absolutely love this industry, love the business, and I love that I don't have to hustle anymore. So thank you.
I appreciate that, and congratulations. And Lindsay, your team has grown, right? So you've
Yeah.
introduced a few people, who've introduced a few people. Do you know what the total size of your team is now? Just total number of
Um, I think, and I can't see, I'm still learning, just so you all know, I don't know anything yet. All that I know is I love to save and I love people and I love to travel. So I'm not good at the back office. You don't need to be, by the way, that's why we have teammates. But I think under just myself, I'm close to 100 with me and
awesome.
my team. I did not recruit all those people, you guys. I did not. So we're pretty close to 100 people. I think we're in the 90s. But it feels like millions because everybody in the company is so amazing. It feels like everybody's a teammate, so it's hard to keep track.
I love it, and congratulations. And here's the thing is she introduced a few who introduced a few. She's used the
Yes.
membership, she's told people about it. She's been to training. Are you going to be in Atlanta?
Oh, if you don't go to events, you might as well just leave. Events are the number one thing. I actually, when I first joined, back in December, after a couple weeks, I actually canceled my trip to go to my other companies to go to the Dallas one because I knew there was something way bigger here than what I had planned for. I will be there in Atlanta. Every event that there is, you will see me there. I'm even going to try to make it to the Europe ones. We'll see if I can make that happen.
Amazing, amazing. Well, so I'm so proud of you and everything that's happening. I'd love to go to my dear friend Kamitzi. She has used this membership, traveled the world. Kamitzi, if you could share with everyone what's happened with you, that would be fantastic.
Okay, thank you so much, Muzaffar. Hello, everyone. My name is Kamitzi Ojeda, and I'm a licensed cosmetology instructor and private salon owner out of Riverdale, Georgia. And when I saw this, I got extremely excited. I saw it because I wanted to travel the world. My mom was a flight attendant. I was an only child, so I got to go pretty much everywhere. Then I got married, and I love my husband to death, but we grew up differently. His travel lifestyle was different from mine. He was one of 11 children, and I'm an only child. So when he took me on a vacation, he took me to his sister's house to sleep on her couch. He called that a vacation, and he was like, "All right, babe, you had a good time, right?" I was like, "No, I didn't." So I saw this as a way that he could never tell me we couldn't afford it. So I plugged in, I got started. When he first saw it, he was like, "It's too good to be true." And some of you know him. He introed this call. So it's a huge surprise that he was like, "Nope, we're not doing it." But because I saw what my cousin was doing, which is the person who showed it to me, I was like, you know what? I know it works. So let's start taking a few trips. And we went on some trips. My friends saw us on social media. They asked us how we were doing it. When I showed them, they decided to get started. and I was able to make a multiple six-figure income on a part-time basis. No longer pay my dues, my fees, and now we just travel the world and we have a good time. And I thank Muzaffer, Sherry, Jared for sticking through it with me. And I thank Viago. Thank you for letting me share, Muzaffer.
Thank you, and congratulations on everything that's happening with you. And I'm just going to cover this real quickly, ladies and gentlemen. It's real simple, right? So as we go to Amplify, which is the event that's coming up in Atlanta, it is something that don't miss. Like, really, if you've ever sat there and wondered whether you should or you shouldn't, if you should go or not go, it's the reason why I'm here. You heard my story of going to that really big event in Las Vegas. It's what changed my life. Now, getting started is really simple. It's the membership. It's $450, and then the ambassador registration, which gives you the ambassador business system, is $49. So the total is $499 just to start. And I'll tell you right now that if you just divided that by 365 days, you're talking about $1.37 a day to run a business. And after you get your first six and you've earned 600, what if it took you 6 months? What if every month you just introduced one? Now, what if it took you 6 weeks instead of 6 months? What if it took you 6 days? The point is some people have done it in 6 hours. All I'm telling you is the timing of what we have is so spectacular. This is your friend that introduced you. This is you. We're building 2 teams. So the minute you get started, the next position is yours. No one can take it away from you. And anyone that comes after you from your friend will go on your team because they're only building 2 teams. And then anyone they bring. And all of that helps you unless you decide to give your position to someone else. And right now you're going, why would I do that? Well, if you choose to wait, then you don't go into the system. And your friend is going to introduce someone else. And I've seen this happen with so many people. They don't like get started and somebody else does. And then when they finally do get started, they go in the next available spot and they miss out on so much business that could have happened. Listen, there's 3 ways to really get started. There's A, B, or C. I was an A, like I really was. Sherry was an A. If you're a B, which is I want to be a customer, we love our customers. And for C is someone that's got to see it again or they've got some questions, no problem. But A is the way to go. And I'll tell you, for me, I was always thinking about people that I talk to that say, Muzaffer, I tried something like this before. I go, never this. Don't compare this to other things that maybe you had failures with. Please don't do that. Don't push your pain from the past forward. For me, fear is temporary. Regret is permanent. And I want to tell you, Sherry, you said yes. And you have so much going on in life with, you just invested in a business before Viago came. You and your husband were spending time with the grandkids, taking care of your mom, living a completely different life. Why did you say yes to Viago now? Why now? Why yes? And I'm so grateful that you did. But if you could share with everyone what's happened, I'd really appreciate it.
Oh, I would love to. And I just saw that Jeff is back. So you guys stick around because you want to hear his testimonial. It is outstanding. But when you ask why, I have so many reasons. And for all of you that are guests, I just want to take you back a little bit because when I got involved in this industry, I was a Montessori preschool teacher, single mom like Lindsay. So if there's any single parents out there, this is a dream come true industry because you can have time freedom, which in most careers you cannot have time freedom. You can work here, you can make residual income, and I've not done anything else. And when Muzaffer said that we started another business, I was like, okay, I'm kind of like a silent partner with that. I turned over our franchise over to my son and my husband because I'm 100% focused on Viago. And when Muzaffer was talking about, remember when he was talking about that black diamond money, 85,000 a month, which turns out to be a lot more because that's only one way you get paid. See, that's an attraction for me because it's not the money that drives me, it's the people you can help How many people making an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month, what kind of difference would that make in their lives? See, and you have the power to introduce it to them. You have the power to be able to, there's people on this call right now. I mean, right now as we speak, you saw Jared in the beginning, he had to go out on a call right in the middle of the call, because this is a second income for him, but it's a lifestyle income. It's an opportunity for people from all walks of life. And when we went to Dubai, I have to say it was life changing. We were there with 400 Viago family members, and it was the most incredible trip I've ever done in my 72 years of life. And I think what is going to happen when all of you get started and we are not only traveling the world together, but we are making a difference in the world. And that's, Muzaffar, I wouldn't be here without you. It's like, thank gosh you picked up that phone and called me. So don't be afraid to call people that you think are out of reach, because I was like, like Muzaffar said, I take care of my 92-year-old mom. I have my 2 grandchildren that came in from Australia. I'm just recently married. So it's like, I had a lot going on. But there's nothing better than this community. I have to tell you right now, when you get to know us, you will love us. So I'm going to turn the call back to you. And I just want to let everybody know that we're doing a training. We're going to stop this section, but stick around and learn how you can actually earn while you're learning. I love when, Lindsay, I'm so much like you. I just went out and started building. I didn't even, learn all the back office stuff yet. I figured I'll learn that as I'm earning. And that's the best part. And hopefully we can get Lindsay to share a little bit of some of the ways she clicks to get those kind of discounts, because this training program Saturday's my favorite day of the week because of the training, because the best trained team always wins. So back to you, Muzaffar.